I'm excited to be here. This is my first Career Academy. I'm coming up on a year here at UCF. And so the Career Academy program that we offer here, we also do it on the other side of the house, which is Project Best. And what I love most about it is, if you're someone who is an experiential learner, it's important for you to, have that experience, see who the people are, then you pick the right day to come to this event, because you're going to hear from some industry professionals who will talk to you very candidly about the path that they've taken to get to where they are. So, education is key, the experience is even more important. You all, as STEM majors, know that you've picked a major where there is exponential growth. That is one sector where job market creation is expected to grow, not contract. And so I think the more opportunities we can present like this to you all, the better you will be prepared in your next move, whether it's professional studies, whether you're going on graduate school, going right into the workforce. It's really important for you to know what all of your pathways are. So really the hard work really goes to the team. They curated this day so that you would have an opportunity to have a full experience. So please take everything in, ask all the questions you can, take advantage of networking and meeting these professionals who've taken time out of their day to be with you, and thank you for attending the 2025 Prime STEM Career Academy. I'll turn it back over to Sherry, who will be today's Oprah Winfrey, and will be facilitating the panel discussion.
So we'll start off with Mr. Elliott Gray Jr. He's a software engineer with Lockheed Martin. Elliott graduated here from UCF in fall of 2021 with a bachelor's degree in computer engineering. Currently, he works as a software engineer at Lockheed. Elliott started working with Lockheed through the UCF College Work Experience program, which some of our students are familiar with, in 2018. In early 2022, he transitioned into a full-time position and has been with the company ever since. As a software engineer, he is responsible for developing, testing, and maintaining sustainment applications for government programs and initiatives. Thank you for being with us, Elliott. Next, we have Mr. Adrian Thacker, founder and CEO of Proficiency Background Services. Adrian started the company in January of 2019. He's originally from San Diego, California, and raised in Sanford, Florida. Adrian faced challenges early in his life, including limited exposure to diverse career opportunities, which I think some of our students may be able to resonate with, and getting involved in unlawful activities at a young age. Despite these obstacles, he pursued his education in aerospace, electrical, and mechanical engineering while working overnight jobs in warehouses. During his job search, Adrian encountered a screening company that provided improper screening services, leading to a job offer being denied and leaving him unemployed for weeks with unpaid bills. This experience prompted him to investigate the industry and discover that a major background screening company was profiting while not operating in compliance. Recognizing opportunities to provide excellent service and address the lack of diversity in leadership roles, Adrian decided to venture into the background screening industry. In 2021, he expanded his company's services and reached by acquiring RefCheck Information Services, an Ohio-based background screening company. This acquisition further strengthened his position in the industry. Through his journey, Adrian has demonstrated resilience and a commitment to excellence. He has not only overcome personal challenges, but also taken steps to make a positive impact by offering superior services and promoting diversity in the background security industry. We also have Adrian's lovely wife here joining us today. We want to give you a shout out. Can you say your name? I just don't want to butcher it.
Nnadi.
Say that again?
Nnadi.
Thank you for joining us today. Next we have, Nnadi, and he is the president of Nnadi Engineering Services. He is an accomplished business leader with a global perspective and has a proven track record in strategic planning, operations, and business development. Since 2017, he has served as the president of Nnadi Engineering Services, a geotechnical engineering firm based in Orlando, Florida. Under his leadership, he successfully led the acquisition of Dietrich Engineering, further strengthening Nnadi's presence in the Central Florida market and enhancing its geotechnical construction, materials testing, and threshold inspection services. He now oversees operations across both brands, ensuring a high standard of quality client service and strategic growth. Prior to his work in Florida, Ezzy held senior leadership roles in Doha, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, where he managed operations for multiple companies with a corporate group. His international experience sharpened his ability to drive business growth and navigate complex multicultural business environments. A proud alumnus of the University of Central Florida and Central Florida native, Ezzy is deeply committed to community and industry advancement. He serves as vice chair of the National Association of Minority Contractors and actively supports initiatives in education, environment, and economic development. He credits much of his success to the unwavering support of his wife, Nnadi, and is a proud father to 2 children, Selah and Zia. That's it correctly? Zia, Selah and Zia. Thank you for joining us. Next we have Matt Rose, co-founder and chief experience officer at TechRage IT. Matt is an award-winning IT managed services provider. Through his journey, he has assumed diverse roles ranging from consultant to virtual chief information officer, catering to the needs of all companies from small to mid-sized businesses to Forbes Global 200 companies. As a published author of Kiss Tech Rage Goodbye and more, Matt continues to significantly impact the IT landscape, empowering businesses and professionals alike with his unparalleled knowledge and expertise. As a well-respected figure in the technology industry, Matt has been featured in prestigious publications such as the Orlando Business Journal and Channel Pro SMV. His unwavering dedication to driving positive change makes him a driving force in the IT domain, offering invaluable support and guidance to businesses and individuals navigating the dynamic digital landscape. Under his leadership, TechRage IT has earned prestigious honors, including being named a top technology company in General Florida by the Orlando Business Journal and receiving a Business of the Year award from the Seminole Business Awards. Additionally, the company has been recognized as a Next Gen 101 winner by the Channel Futures. TechRage IT provides managed IT services, cybersecurity solutions, VoIP, phone services, IT consulting, and professional services to small, mid-sized businesses with 20 to 50 employees headquartered in Central Florida, with the goals of reducing their technology frustrations and security concerns. Matt's academic achievements are equally impressive, as he holds a bachelor's degree in information science from the University at Albany, SUNY, and master's in information networking and computer science from the New York Institute of Technology. He also holds a project management professional certification from the Project Management Institute and is a graduate of Leadership Orlando class of '99. In his free time, Matt can be found at his children's baseball games, watching New York Mets play, or crafting woodwork for his wife. Thank you. Well, no, sorry, last but certainly not least, and she was able to join us on a very, very short notice, and we're glad to have her here. I will let her introduce herself, Ms. Telishia Terry, RPT.
Good afternoon, UCF. I am Ms. Telishia Terry. I'm a 2002 graduate of UCF. I am a very proud alumni. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in sociology, went back to school at 32 years old after being a school teacher. And they told us they didn't need us anymore. This is when STEM first started. That's how age I am. Obama introduced it. And they laid us off. I said, I have to go back for something where I will always be able to have a job. So I'm a respiratory therapist. What is that? That's page 273 in that book. I looked it up to see that they have us in there. So what we do is we deal with people who have heart and lung issues. So people are like, oh, you're the breathing lady. You walk around with that little machine. No, I don't. I manage the ICU. I deal with people who need to be on ventilators. I deal with babies who are premature. Anybody who has any kind of lung issue, cardiac issue, you come through the ER with your head cut off, I'm the one who's going to bring you back alive. It's me. You're going to see me. You'll wake up to me. Hi, it's me. Not the doctor. They call me first. So I'm a registered respiratory therapist. I've been that since 2010. So this will be my 15th year in the field. I'm also a very proud member of Zeta Pi Beta Sorority Incorporated here at the University of Central Florida. I've served in sorority for over 25 years. And so I continue to give my time back to the community. And so I continue to give my time back to UCF and also, again, back to Orlando. My academic accomplishments, I went back to school again, my bachelor's is in sociology. I went back to school for respiratory. My master's degree is in higher education, again, from the University of Central Florida. I'm also a professor. I've been a professor at Valencia. I've been a clinical professor there as well, teaching the NICU classes. I've been a preceptor in hospitals at Winnie Palmer, where I worked at for 5 years there. I've been a travel respiratory therapist since 2017. So I traveled before COVID. So I worked from here to Oregon, to Dallas, to Houston, to pretty much, I've seen it all. I've been in a lot of different hospitals, a lot of different environments, a lot of different medical cultures. So I've seen how a lot of people practice medicine. So people forget that medicine is also a part of STEM as well, because it's a field that's always going to be in high need. We need our critical thinkers, we need those strong minds, and we need those caring hearts. So I'm hoping that here I was invited from the panel today to be, to see, so people can see, face to face in first eye that, we are a part of that STEM model, and we definitely need your help.
Anybody can answer it right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So for me, absolutely none. I did not go to school for criminal background screening. I don't believe there's real formal education to provide that type of education. A lot of people assume previous law enforcement of the sort. That's not the case. We actually just studied for about 4.5 years. Even online, you can't really find that type of education, so it really just took a lot of grit. Just diving in, deep dive on the web. Even though there's a lot of misinformation, there's still a lot of good information. If you can find anybody in the industry, that's what helped. And actually my wife helped me get past a hurdle. I was gonna quit, and good circles. But as far as education for me, no, not for this.
Thank you.
For me, I guess you could say it was pretty much like always a part of the plan going to school. And I majored in computer engineering. So basically, like even from high school, I knew I wanted to do something in the field of software engineering. So pretty much like going into it, I knew that the classes I'd be taking at UCF, I'd want to do something related to coding, stuff like that. And I noticed later on I got through my major, I found the classes really being applicable to what I do now in my current line of work. So basically, I could say that the later part of what I learned in my degree was most helpful for applicable to what I do now in my job. So I guess it depends on possibly what your major may be, just how much you get from your degree, and also I guess what you put into it. It really is up to you what you do with your major, if it ends up being useful to you or not. And in my case, I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I had to focus myself in those classes to get the result that I wanted. And then when I got to where I wanted, I was very grateful for the UCF experience. It was very enriching and very helpful.
For me, it put me in the circle to be around the people that I needed to motivate me. And it helped me to be in certain leadership positions. When I was there, I helped initiate Black Mental Development Circle as well. And to be a student leader when I would be in certain places and have to deal with certain issues. The skills that I learned at UCF really helped me to be, to stay motivated and to stay focused and to get through those situations, because dealing with the hospital, the tension that we were dealing with COVID, dealing with very sick people, dealing with, of course, you have some people who became totally unfocused. The leadership skills I learned at UCF, the leadership experience I had at UCF, I don't think I would have been able to get through those times without having the circle I had from UCF. So I'm very thankful for my time at UCF.
For me, it's more so coming to UCF. I'm officially graduated from here. I was in an environment with people from different backgrounds, different parts of the state, parts of the nation. So it was learning how to communicate, get along with diverse group of people. And as you experience growing in your respective industry, you can't choose your coworkers, you can't choose your clients, you can't choose your managers, your bosses. So that skill that was learned back in college, interacting with diverse people, understanding their backgrounds, bridging people together, I think that's 100% helps as you continue to grow in your respective careers.
I would have to somewhat agree. I went to high school in a town in upstate New York that graduating class was 150 kids. And then my college in upstate New York was 15,000. So I think a very similar thing was opening my eyes. That wasn't my small world. Being an IT professional, what I learned in the late 90s and my master's in 2008 really is practically unusable to today's market. But the people I've met, the kind of habits you learn, I think are what continue to carry on your I can start on this one. So when I was a teenager, started building computers. I thought I wanted to be a programmer. Went to school for computer science at the time and took a few programming classes. Just didn't enjoy it. And I'm like, I don't want to just program the rest of my life. So at the time, I moved to what's now an IT degree. It was information science. And I actually got a minor in business, which realistically now helped me. But I did pivot. I thought I wanted one thing because it was kind of in the mid-90s. It was the fad, be a programmer, you're going to make a ton of money, whatever. And it's certainly changed over time, but they certainly ended up during school right after.
Completely. I mean, growing up, I thought I was going to be in the league, obviously. That didn't happen. So I wanted to be associated with sports any way possible. So I'm like, I like science, I like math, I want to be an orthopedic surgeon. And I had broken a bone and realized I didn't do anything. So sounds like a great way to be associated with football. And then I got to college and realized I don't like blood. So it makes me queasy. So I actually graduated with a finance degree. But I graduated in 07. And if anybody knows what happened in 07, 08, it was a tough time. So long story short, engineering has been in my blood. My mom's an engineer, my dad's an engineer, my uncle's an engineer, everybody's an engineer. So it was an expectation to be an engineer. And I've had an affinity to it, even though I rejected it. But growing up around it has ultimately put me full circle back into engineering. And it's like I'm like a fish in water, minus the league situation.
For me, I always wanted to be a doctor. I always wanted to keep people alive. I felt like I was put here to help people live a better life. But when I came to UCF, I got a hold of the first real anatomy class. I thought I was going to die. I thought my life was over. The rigorous demands of college courses compared to what we were doing in high school was totally different. So in high school, I graduated class salutatorian. I was super smart. UCF recruited me, came to pick me up. I was the smartest person in the whole wide world until I got. So I changed my major and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Until again, you grow up. Don't rush growing up, guys. Just take your time here, chill out, hang out, okay, if you can. But I did that. Then I had to come back again, like you said, full circle. You come back to where what your purpose is. And then I realized I have to just cry my way through this anatomy class and I took them one by one. The school teacher job was paying for our classes, 6 credit hours, and I did it. Came out here, I took my classes, I did it. And so here we are now. What do? Keep people alive. That's what I do. So yeah, I did. I came away from it, came right back.
For me, I guess I can kind of say like it shifted. I always wanted to do something in tech. I think when I was younger and in high school, kind of shifted to like computers in general. And then when I eventually majored in computer engineering, I knew that the major was pretty much like a split between electrical engineering and computer science. And I wasn't really sure like which path I was more geared toward. I still kind of have a love for both. I love programming, but I also love the hardware side as well, the circuits, the embedded systems, getting closer to the hardware. But the later on I went in my major, the more I feel like I like programming more than I did the hardware side, and that's how I can say it shifted from one to the other. But am I like closed off to the hardware stuff in the future? Probably not, because I still like it, but I can definitely say that the further along I went in my major, I could see my like for programming more and, you know, staying in that world, staying with the higher level languages, working on web applications, this kind of applications. It's enjoyable for me. I like it, so.
Okay, can you repeat the question?
Yes, the question was, did you know what you wanted to study / focus on academically? And if not, how did you pivot?
Well, I knew I wanted to be an engineer. I knew that for a fact. Growing up, I always wanted to figure out how things actually move, rather than just going to school. Well, I went to school for auto technician. It was way too easy. I would go through the classes, take the test, and just basically sleep the whole day and still pass, so it just wasn't a challenge too much for me. So I knew it had to fall into engineering, and I got introduced to, as you previously stated in the beginning, we weren't exposed. Growing up in Sanford, Florida, we weren't exposed to the type of engineers and certain careers that are out here. So when I actually did fall into engineering, I had a really good time as far as the numbers. Again, that aspect of it is pretty much a headache, but it was a good time. Ended up not being my course down the line, which is totally fine. You'll probably change your degrees twice, 3 times. I know my brother changes his degree like 4 times, so it happens. But I just fell into criminal background. I just wanted to go to engineering. It didn't happen. I fell into criminal background screenings, and it was a good experience. We get exposed to every company across the board, from engineering, healthcare, banking institutes, and actually high-end jewelry stores. So it's really interesting where I'm at now. But as far as school, didn't find my dream through college. Yeah.
So the first part was,
What skills or knowledge did you learn throughout undergrad or your graduate program that you found most useful in your career?
how to communicate. Communication is everything. You will find that even once you graduate, some people are extremely immature, even managers and supervisors, very immature, very emotionally underdeveloped. They need the Lord. And then you want to punch them, but you can't. You pray for them. Okay, you pray for people. So you have to learn how to troubleshoot through that. So it's very important that you use your college vocabulary. It's very important you use your troubleshooting skills. It's very important that you read those books, those articles your professor sent to you, that extra stuff. It's very important you go to those panels when those UCF used to bring a lot of guest speakers here. Go. I don't care if there's only 2 people there. Terry Macmillan came here one time. I read all of her books. I'll never forget what she had to say. Ever. Michael Basin's been here. I can't remember his name right now. The other young man has been here. We've had them all here. He used to bring here all the time. Or she would bring them back. Go listen to what they've had to say. Listen to them. Take notes. Record it, or however they do it now. But please, go. I don't care if you're the only one in there. You're like, dang, nobody else is here. I don't care. Go. Go. And listen to what they have to say. Because they're going to give you nuggets. They're going to give you things to walk away from. It's going to mature you in ways that you will only have gotten that because you went to that event. Because you're the only 4 people. It doesn't matter. You're the only 4 people there. And you're going to use it to grow you as seeds to grow you throughout your life. You're dealing with things in your workplace. So one, communication. That's the one skill I can say that will always help me, that has always and will continue to help me in every part of my life. Because I deal with doctors who I wonder, how did you get here? You're here? Wow. Okay. I have to miss it, get myself ready to adjust my vocabulary to deal with them and communicate with them on their level. Because at the end of the day, we got to keep the patient alive. Yeah, that's my job. I can't dwell on where you are right now. I need to keep the patient alive. That's what I have to do, because I'm at bedside with them for 12 hours. They're going to be here for 15 minutes. I have dementia ventilated. I have to do it. So that's the main thing. I'm sorry, the second half?
How did your experience at college help you find your first position after graduation?
After graduation, again, that support system is key. Who you network here is key. Who you're involved with is key. It's so sad. I hear students say they left college and they're like, I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't talk to anybody from college. How you not talking about from college? College, outside of your elementary school friends, college is your second set of lifelong friends. My lifelong friends, my friends of 25, you know my college roommate, we're still friends, we still go. I still go to her house. That's 27 years that we're still friends. People are like, wow. You said, yeah, she's still my friend. I still have some of the same 2 and 3 friends. That's your second set of friends. That's your next time to make and that's it, guys. If you make some friends after college, I don't know. You might, but this is it. This is it. But this is your second set of friends. This is your second set of lifelong relationships. I ask that you please put value into them. You please put time into them. These are people going to support you through your life. They're going to be in your weddings. They're going to be at your baby showers. They're going to be that you call when you get your promotions, when you need to cry, when you need to yell, when you need to make, when we need to be like, honey, they done tried me today. Your bestie group, when you have your little group, you know, your group me text. Those people are more likely going to be in that group me text, that group. So I ask you, please value this time you have in college. I'm not saying go join every club or organization in there, but don't leave school and be like, I don't have any friends, you know. I didn't go to those meetings. I didn't look at any of those organizations. I didn't make use of all the resources here. This is how you network. This is how you join Nnadi. You don't have to be back to join Nnadi. Go join it. All my friends were in Nnadi. All my friends were in Club Career. All of them. Some of my friends started them. So go be a part of that. Go and network. Go learn. Go and see all the cultures. All of them. This is where I learned to speak Creole. I'm not Haitian. But all my friends, I had to learn to speak Creole. If not, I wouldn't have no friends. I had to learn to speak Creole. I had to get used to probably all of it. I had to learn about the food, not poulet. I had to learn about the food and everything. I had to learn how to cook it, all of it. I showed them soul food. I was first one to show them what real soul food was. They showed me. You know, real, they took me, you know, real jerk chicken, everything. We learned how to get, that's it. So take this time, value it, go out. That's what, and that was, again, I love my UCF experience, that's why I'm here.
What was the question again?
What skills and knowledge did you learn throughout your undergrad or grad program that you found most useful in your career?
I'm going to answer both questions in one, and I'm going to piggyback off of what you said. Relationships, man. How to build and maintain relationships is everything. How you get your first job, relationships. How you get a promotion, relationships. Everything is relationships, like everything. A lot of times it's not how smart you are, it's who you're friends with. Who does your friend knows? Getting your first job is tough. I don't know for you guys, but I know for me, when I graduated, it was tough. You think sending resumes through, what was it, Career Builder back then? Now it's Indeed, like sending resumes, you're not gonna get a job that way. No, it doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. It's who you know. Like, I don't know how many people that I've hired because, oh, my friends, sisters, brothers, cousins, you know, he does engineering, I think. But then they send the resume, and that's what holds more weight. So everything is relationships. Maintaining those relationships. I was not good at maintaining relationships, but over time I was forced to. But things like what you said, like those are I still had a group chat with 4 of us that we were in college together. and we still chat probably like 2-3 times a week. Those relationships are important and are powerful. Those are the relationships that you're going to call, like she said, when you're down, happy, when you're mad, when you're sad. Like, relationships is everything. So the people that you have relationships here in college, maintain those. You don't know where they're going to be. You have no idea. Even not only your friends, but your professors. That's the secret. If you want a job out of college, make sure you're friends with your professors. Make sure they know who you are, because your professors has relationships in the private sector. Why? Because they probably went to school with all the people in senior positions in the private sector. So guess who those people are calling? The professor at the university that's teaching that subject. Say, hey, who are your top students? They're going to shoot us over 2-3 resumes. So it's not only your friends, professors, everybody. UCF has so much resources. I didn't use it while I was here, and I regret it. But it has so much resources. The fact that you guys are sitting here shows that you're on the right track. So just relationships. Me?
I think everybody here is going to struggle with time. That's not an easy feat. Ever since I was young, I struggled with time. But when you get into your career, it's more important to have more of a structure. You have your daily morning routines. Then you know what you're going to do for the rest of the day. And of course, things will come up, which you can throw a wrench into your schedule. So maintain as much as possible. Use your phone calendar. Was it connected with your laptop? So if you use the Apple, I'm not sure about Androids. I'm an Apple guy. So my phones are connected to my laptops. And of course, we have a little team. So if you have somebody that you're close with, they can send you reminders just in case. Go ahead, definitely use that. My wife gets annoyed with me, but she married into this, so it is what it is. But it's really down to having a real structure of your schedule. Put it on your phone calendar. If you're on your laptops, if you have different calendars, put it into all. I have an Outlook and a Google for both of my businesses. So if I put something on my Outlook calendar, I put it also on my Google. So I know for a fact I'll see it. So if you're worried about your schedule, use that calendar. Use those notifications.
I'll give the tip that, just to add on to that, there's certain things you have to protect on your calendar. Like there are certain meeting times, there's certain times I have to get stuff done.
Correct.
So even if it's someone trying to do business with us, it actually sometimes you have to say like 9 a.m. on Thursday, like, no, that's, I can do it 10, and you look stronger that way, and you've got to have some self-control. And then one of the things we've learned from, especially from an IT standpoint, everybody thinks multitasking. It doesn't exist. You can't do it. The human brain can't look at this thing while doing another thing. So if you think you're multitasking, you're not. You're just doing 2 things bad. So concentrate on one thing, get it done, move on to the next.
He's right. Like sometimes, because I work 12-hour shifts, I tell my family from this time to this time, do not call this phone. Or you will not get a response back until after 5 p.m. Because I work 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. I work overnight. So you can't, there's no communication. And then sometimes I do 6 on, 7 off. For those 6 days, I don't want to talk to nobody. My talk time is very minimal. Because I got to protect my brain. So you have to, like you said, you have to protect. You have to protect. And with your study time, protect it. You can't multitask and study. You can't be texting and studying. I know you've been doing it. Yeah. Stop it. The texting and studying, stop. Protect your study time. Those engineering guys that I had, they would never come out of the engineering building. I didn't understand why. They would go in that building and not come out until dark. They're studying. They would protect that time. They'd be like, okay, T, we gone. Dang, they would never come out. I would wonder what happened to them. But that's how, and that's where they studied at, because it was quiet in there. And they had, because they would never, because the library was a club. The library was a joke. You could not study in the library. The library was a myth, unless you went high up on the floor or something. Yeah, this was not a study place. It was just a hangout spot. But they went in an engineering building and they studied. They studied. So protect your studies time. Decide what you're committed to. Like you said, you got to commit. There's no texting and studying. Even for the first 2 hours or whatever, commit.
And then set your.
Adrian,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
This is not that real quick.
I was gonna say, set yourself up for success. Like, if you ask my kids, you ask my wife, that's the motto. Like, you gotta set yourself. If you don't know what you're doing the next day, you should know. Do it the night before. Plan your days out. It might seem trivial, but it's going to set you up for success. I do everything. I have everything planned out the night before. I know exactly what I'm doing. So there's no wavering. Oh, can you do this? No. My day is planned out the night before. And then to pivot to what you said, protect your time. Understand where you're wasting time. You got 24 hours in the day. You're wasting a lot of time. I mean, you know what I did was, I haven't been on social media since like 2008, MySpace days. That dates me. So, like, I realized early that, this is taking way too much of my time, so I just eliminated it.
You're top 10.
Yeah. So I don't know anything that's going on in the world. But eliminating that, I realized was such a big time suck. What could I be doing more productively? Ask yourself that. Where are you wasting your time? So I know TikTok, you'll be on TikTok for like 3 days straight.
So yeah, I definitely want to piggyback. Finding the time, the wasteful time, that's a really important factor. I'm on the road. If I'm in Central Florida, I'm on the road at least 4 hours a day. About 3 days a week, I'll go to Tampa, so I'm guaranteed going to be on the road for at least 7 hours. And I'm not even sure if I counted like picking up the kids from school or anything like that, dropping them. Well, I definitely count dropping off to school just because my wife gets on me sometimes. But when you have kids, you gotta take that into account. When you have school, take that into account. The travel time, you gotta take every single thing into account. Just like with your finances, if you're losing money, where are you losing it? So if you're losing time, where exactly are you losing it? So you gotta track absolutely everything. For instance, I have my wife handles all the reference screens, and that takes a lot of time. And it's really in-depth stuff. Typically, the high-end ones is for the executive levels, but I ask her to break down every second of this process, whether it's the calls, the initial calls, emails, how long it takes to draft up emails, and so on. Count everything. You literally don't know where that's being wasted at. Social media. Everybody struggles with social media. That's one of those drugs that's really tough to break. So more power to you, Elliott. That's tough. Having 2 kids you have to start, especially if you can start early. Start now. Take off a few minutes. All right, if you notice you've been on for an hour, 2 hours, log off for 30 minutes or so. It's really important to really have control of your time, because that's really where all your money and your education is coming from. If you don't have the time for education, you'll never be able to take to the next level. So definitely. So I see, got you. That one I know very well. The motivation is tough. I got 2 boys, 14 and 9. The motivation on the 14-year-old is horrible. So I'm not a morning person, so he's 14, he doesn't listen. Everything is against him. I lack motivation at times, and mostly everybody does. Nobody wants to go to school, or some people might love school, but I'm not the type that likes school. I hate reading. I don't like studying the economy, but somebody got to do it. And that's where it really comes down to. Somebody has to do it. If you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you. So you got to accept that fact, like, all right, well, if I do want to make $100,000 a year, well, you know what your goal is, then take the necessary steps to achieve that goal, whatever it is. And that's something I tell everybody, even my kids. What do you want, the very last day on earth, what do you want that to look like? Or in your 50s, what do you want that to look like? So if it's a huge mansion or just a few cows and a ducks in the backyard laying eggs or something like that, then go ahead and take those steps to that goal. Class, understandable, it's really long, it's really boring, and so on. Yesterday is yesterday, this morning was this morning, now is now. So whatever you gotta do to get that goal, just go ahead and do it. Every morning or meetings, typically I'll listen to like Kevin Gates or something like that. But during specific times of day, I'll listen to certain motivational speakers like, I forgot, Coach Payne is my main guy. Gets me hyped up, gets me ready to motivate myself to go into these meetings, go into neighborhood events. I don't want to drive 2 hours, 6 o'clock in the morning to go to Tampa. I do not want to do it. But I know for a fact nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to sit there and get clients for myself, except for me or somebody in the field. So if I know that's the case, nobody's going to care for your future as much as you do. That's pretty much it. Nobody's going to care for your future as much as you do. Nobody should.
I would stress on like the importance of networking, like we mentioned earlier. I think having a good network, and I guess when I say network, I mean like your close friends, those are a really good motivator. And having friends that challenge you and continue to inspire you. I think a lot of people feel like they need to go it alone a lot of the time. And having good friends, sometimes they're just hearing their voices or the things that give you a pick-me-up. And in my case, I'm still friends with, I've only been out of college for a little bit, but I'm still friends with my college friends. And they inspire me, they continue to lift me up, and they keep me going in my career. So having friends, family, whoever is close to you can sometimes be the motivation you need, because sometimes you can struggle with self-motivation, so sometimes it takes somebody else to help push you and get you that action motivation that you need.
Do you have mentors?
I do.
You do. Reach out to your mentors. I still have my main mentor is my 9th grade English teacher. She's actually a librarian at the Cookman University now. So I still have her to reach out to. So your mentors, and I'm the oldest of 10 children. So, and I just call them, and they pick you right. They pick you right. So your circle, your mentors, and whoever your circle is, that's your board of directors, who's gonna be, who always understands you at whatever level you are and won't judge you at that level. So, and again, you've come so far. One grade doesn't define you. One bad day doesn't define you. I've had plenty get those bad grades, go back home to my dorm and roll back in that bed and cover my head right back up. But you know what? Get back up and do it again. So remember that one thing doesn't define you.
I want to piggyback off what AT said. Network's important. Just start now. I probably talked to one person that, 20-some years, only one. And even that is on the fence. Your network is really important. That energy is an actual thing. When you're talking to individuals, if you have that circle, whether it's a mentor, whether it's professors or classmates or whatever the case is, just go ahead and start now. If you feel in the next few years or at that moment it doesn't bring actual value to what your goals are, then that's one of those things you're gonna have to nip in the butt.
Accountability. I mean, all these networks and friends, it's just for people or a group of people that you can be accountable to. The people choose wisely who you want to be in that group that you're going to hold yourself accountable to. Also, gamification. Like, I gamify everything. When I don't want to do something, I was like, you know what? If you do this, I tell myself this. I'm like, if you do this like 5 days straight, I'm going to give you a goodie. You can tell I got little kids. But just gamify everything. If your lack of motivation to go into class and waking up like, damn, I don't really want to go to, I don't know what class. Just gamify it. Like, let me see how many classes I can go in a row. Start counting. And then, believe it or not, you'll trick yourself into, like, it becomes fun now. Now you're going to class early. Now the professor's like, oh, I've never seen you this early. So that's my suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also making sure we talk, you know, it's been talked about like switching, you know, if you switch majors, whatever, you gotta make sure that's the case. I switched majors in college, but also I think you're gonna have bad days. I mean, I think it's funny, my kids are young and they like love going to school, and I'm like, oh, wait till you get to middle school, high school, you're gonna hate it. But I didn't like every day of college, I don't like every day at work, and the company. But it's like, you just gotta get through the bad day, get to the good, and it's been said about keeping people around you and mentors. It's all aspects of life. The people and kind of who you're looking after. Like even if you have a friend that's doing better than you a little bit, keep that competition too. You know, you should want to do as good as someone else, and that's kind of keeping the company. If you have people that are driving and doing some good, you're going to want to be as good or better, and kind of keep that competition going.
I'm sorry. It's a lot.
How many stories you have?
So that actually goes back to the motivation. We've all been like the craziness. I tell my kids this all the time. Sorry for getting a little too hyped up, but you complain about something that you having a bad day. Who remembers 10 years old? Who remembers crying about some nonsense? My friend pushed me. Nobody remembers. Stuff happens in business. Guaranteed, something's gonna happen. Whether you own the business, whether you work for a company, especially them two, these two right here. Oh yeah, I know for a fact they're gonna have hurdles, hardships. From the scheduling platform that we created, that took 1.5 years, and we're still dealing with some issues. We had to let go of one of our largest clients. I did not want to do it, but with what goals we had in mind, we had no choice. That may seem like, oh, that's not a bad time. Like, no, that's a horrible time. Lose out on 20 grand a month, or, you know, and of course it depends on the degree or whatever the case is, it really depends. But there's there's so many facets of failure across the board that I'm sure one of each.
As for me, in healthcare as a traveler, you deal with a lot of, we get contracts. And some contracts in COVID, they were massive. Some contracts run from 7 grand a week. They were running from 7 grand a week to 10 grand a week that you were making. So you're coming in, working, and you get told that, okay, you gotta go home today. You're like, what? You gotta go home today. You know, me, unfortunately, I was never told I had to go home, but mentally it's a lot. You come to a unit, and I'll never forget, I had one man, he looked at me, he said, Miss, you died, right? He had COVID, both lungs were down. And I was like, no, because he was up talking, just like this, no, we're gonna get you up. You're not intubated, I'm not gonna intubate you. When we work 6 days, we have 1 off. I can't, my 1 day off, I came back, he's intubated. How did he intubated? So I asked him what happened to him overnight, he went down. And I'm looking at him, but he still look at me. And he's like, trying to ask me with his eyes, am I gonna let him die? I'm like, boy, you're not gonna die with him. He died like 2 days later. And then they couldn't come to the hospital. So we had to turn their bodies around to the infected by the one to get them. So it was a 30-bed unit that they had made like a MASH hospital. Like they took this room, something like this, and made it to like a hospital because we couldn't bring them into the real hospital. So that's why I was working in. So imagine all these are windows, and their families were standing outside. So dealing with stuff like that mentally, you get tired. And like I said, I've never sent home because I'm very passionate and very good at what I do. I'm not very nice. I ended up being one of the trainers and leaders up there, but I ended up going home. He was like, you let go of all that money? It wasn't a lot of money, guys. It's not peace. You got to find peace within yourself. And you have to get your heart in order. And again, you got to set boundaries. As you get older, you'll understand. Right now, y'all young and free. You'll understand. But things like that. And like you said, you have to, when you're a business owner, you have those clients who be like, yeah, you're bringing me 20 grand a week, but you're on my last nerve. And is it really worth this? Is the collateral damage you're causing worth this? It's too much collateral damage. And I could be getting another 20 grand a week, fine, it's more peaceful to me. And as you get older, the more things cost. Remember this, as you get older, the more things cost. I don't mean monetary. I don't mean monetary. So yes, that was one of the issues that I personally had to deal with. And I can't do it. Entrepreneurship, whole nother ballgame for that. God bless you.
I think that what I would say that surprised me is like, so during college, I mean, switch majors, didn't get very good grades, so I was basically a senior. And I kind of felt like I was a failure, but I think the relationships, like I think if someone could tell me like, because I got out of college, I originally did get a job at IT. It was like getting like a job as like State Farm Insurance because it was available. And if I know that just the hard work of even learning about relationships and learning about people was going to allow me to be where I'm at today, that would have been nice to know, because there's definitely a mention of the journey was up and down. So.
I told myself I'm not going to lead. I mean, but I would have, to piggyback on what he said, I'm a natural introvert. I do not like being around people. Really don't.
As he sits up on the couch.
But I've had to grow out of that, and in that maturation process, if I could tell my younger self, I would say, listen, start earlier. Start building those relationships. Don't study by yourself. Study in a study group. Build that relationship with it. Everything I said earlier, I would have told myself, like, those relationships. Know more people from different walks of life. Start building those relationships. Because your path is never linear. It's going to go up, down, sideways, and you just don't know where you're going to be. But those relationships are going to help guide you. So that's what I would tell myself.
I probably would have just went straight to her and just I'm going to be Dr. Terry, but I definitely would have been Dr. Terry.
I guess never give up for me. There have been times where I felt like giving up. I know when I got through Lockheed, through the College Work Experience program, I didn't get it until my 4th try. So after 3 fails, I wanted to give up, and I was kind of over it. I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. But then, I don't know, something within me, or maybe I was talking to my mom or something, was telling me not to give up. But if I was in the audience, I would tell myself, never give up, keep going, keep pushing. You're not going to get it on your first try. It happens, failure happens, so don't give up.
I would probably say what everybody said. Network heavy. Your network starts now. It doesn't start when you get into your career, it starts now. Patience is really key. You don't have patience, you may cause more damage than you realize. And I caused a lot of damage to my own business. As we progressed, I learned from those. But listen to, like you said earlier, listen. Find your network. Start now. Patience. I think everybody here brought up some pretty good factors right there, key points.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. Can we give a round of applause to this